Right, okay. Here's Simon Lane, joint owner of LRT Midwest Husqvarna. How was that season that's just gone for you personally?
For me personally, it's been a good season, really. Short, real short, but I appreciate what we had, really, because without that we wouldn't have no racing at all this year. But the season, I think it went really well. I mean, me and James had some good battles. He had the edge on me most of the time. But it's been exciting racing, really, really good. And I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed the season, so I can't say I haven't. Because I think battles like that's really good and really good for us. And it's great to have the competition. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it went really well. And we've both been successful. We can't do no better than that, 1 and 2. So, that's it. We can't better that. We can't both win it, unfortunately.
Okay. Obviously, you have an absolutely amazing setup in the pits, which everybody liked, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Did that sort of make your job easier out on track? Did you feel more relaxed because everything was in place and you didn't have to sort of worry about who's doing what and who's going where? Or did that have no real effect, you think, on?
I think personally it has not much effect, really. When we're there, we're there to race and we're there to do a job, and that's what we do. The setup prior to going racing in the organisation in the winter, which is a little bit irrelevant, but there's a lot that's stressful, and sometimes just doing the setup on the Saturdays, James will probably tell you, that can be quite stressful, but we got a cracking team behind us. I've got to say that. Best ever. It's been the best ever team, with the lads we've got. Credit to them, we've got some really good bunch behind us, and that itself makes everything so much easier. That does. But for racing, it has no bearing for me personally on the racing, whether I was in just a van or a huge setup, but we do that because we want to do it like that for the sponsors and the team. But me personally, it doesn't help, or it's not an advantage or a disadvantage.
Okay. I mean, obviously that must have been a real difficult season mentally to get your head around, because nobody knew whether it was going to go or wasn't going to go. And it must have been really hard to prepare, both for yourself and as a team, because you never really knew what was going to happen. So were you glad in the end to get out there racing, or did you think, maybe it's a little bit late in the season to start? Or
no, not at all. From day one, I've always told everybody, we just want to race. Whether it's 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, we wanted to race. We were prepared. James and I was practicing from sort of beginning of May, earlier than that really. Then we went into racing. We did a lot of racing before the championship, so we come prepared, and we wanted to race. And as a team, we wanted to race. And we always said, we don't care if it's 1 round or 5 rounds. We'll be there regardless with the team. So, our preparation is difficult. You're right. It was difficult to prepare because we never knew a specific date. It kept moving and moving and moving. And so we were racing all the time. So when we knew when it was time to go, we were ready.
Okay, obviously, like for years, you've raced on the machinery. Switched this year. How did you find that personally? Did you feel comfortable on the Husqvarna?
When the first time I went out in the Husqvarna, I wasn't really sure, because I hadn't ridden since. Last year was the last round at Long Lane, which would have been September. So we had done nothing from September through to March or February. We went out when it stopped raining, really. So the first time I went out it, I wasn't really sure. I thought it seemed quick, but as time went on and on and on, I actually grown to love the bike. And I must say, it's probably one of the best bikes I've ridden, really. So I have that bike is spot on. I am really glad we changed. I got nothing against Honda, but I'd always said to James and everybody else in the team that we wouldn't go back. We've made that decision, and that's it. We're sticking.
What did you feel was like the main difference then between the Honda and the Husqvarna? What did the Husqvarna have maybe that the Honda didn't have? Or
the biggest thing for me was the power. The Husqvarna is so smooth. The Honda's a bit like a light switch. It's a bit snappy. But with a Husky, it delivers so smooth. And it altered my riding. A lot of people say that I ride in tall gears now, which in the Honda I was always going down the gearbox to low, in right down to low gears. Husqvarna, you pull in third, fourth all day long, and that's the biggest one that I found was the power was so much more smoother.
Okay. Final question. Obviously, it's early days yet. Not even getting into winter. I guess you intend racing again next year?
Yeah, we intend. Yeah. A lot of people ask that question: when are you going to retire? And I'll retire when I've had enough. And at the moment, I'm really enjoying it, and I enjoy the bike, enjoy riding. It gives us all something to focus on. And as with the team, we're in preparation and talks already, and done a few things ready in preparation for 21. So it really is all happening now, really. So it's all go ahead, really.
Okay. And lastly, obviously second in the championship for you. I know you love to win, which most riders love to win. But if anybody was going to win it, I'm sure you're so glad that it was your brother James that actually got there in the end.
Totally. I remember saying to the lads, we had this conversation with Ollie and Grant early on in the season, and then we was talking about who's going to win. And I said, truthfully, I would like James to win. He hasn't won a championship, and I thought it'd be nice if he does it. It's a shame that we didn't finish, and celebrate properly on the last round. Unfortunately, it was cancelled, but I'm glad he won it. And like I say, I think you might have mentioned it as well, Mike, that we kind of gone down the history books for 1 and 2. I don't think anyone else has done that. I'm not sure. So that in itself was a huge achievement for us as a family, really, and as a team. So, yeah, I'm pleased for James very much, yeah.
Okay, Simon Lane, thank you very much.
Thank you.